Okay. Maybe now. Okay. Ugh, got really frantic, didn't know. What or not? I was actually gonna do this. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. Let me do this real quick and then I can have some thoughts. Let's see. Maybe I'll even make those thoughts somewhat legible to understand. Okay, welcome. Yeah, today right now is just to get things going. Okay. Okay. Brain needs to work and then I'll be ready. But for now, yeah, everything needs to set up and I'm just doing all the shares and make sure everything's good before everyone wonders what I'm looking all over the place for. So, there we go. Now I'm here. Hi. How we doing? It's new week. Well, it's already been July for a while, but it's a week into July. I don't know. Is that special? Probably not. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. How you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's just been a little bit stressful. I've been, yeah, as you know, I've been working on 2 projects at once, and they're both like pretty major, at least big projects. So, looks good. Okay. It's been a weird balancing act of, well, one of them is actually a contract, job. So it's like, the other one's just kind of actually just for fun. It's not like, it's one kind of weighs more, I guess, to the other one. But yeah, it's hard to then balance it out for, especially for you guys, that it's like, well, where's the content? And it's like, I don't know. It's hard to say, like, it's trying to come, but it's also a little bit perplexly, what to work on at the same time. Yeah. I've had that before where someone actually did, like, 3 or 4 years ago, somehow, I won't tell you how, obviously, but was able to find out where, within around, like, 5 miles, figured out where I live. So it's like, on stream, it's like, I know where you live, and it's like, do you live near Bwop? And it's like, I know where that is. So it's like, huh, yeah, that was the spookiest, yeah. So if you know that's, you'll be one on there as well. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. You're good. Yeah, keep that to yourself if you actually did somehow. So I think most of the, the stream pipes, I guess, must have been some kind of leakage or something. Who knows? Obviously I'm not too worried, but I should be. But yeah, it's hard when I know and that you're actually hacking into it. It's like, whatever. It's just like if it's a joke, it's hard to take it seriously or not. Anyway. Let's get on with this. Because I know there was a lot of questions at the end of it when we got into that Q&A. It became like a Q&A sort of section at the very end. So, that's why. And I kind of realized that some of those questions actually did make sense after, like, a couple days after and, like, reading it or, like, trying to understand it later. So, yeah, I understand what kind of what that person actually meant by the questions. So I know the last time I had my own questions of what those questions meant. So that's why. Let me see if I can move reference. That's a little off to the side. There we go. How we doing? What does that say? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's see. Looks like a song. Alright. I'm not sure. That's why I've been speaking English, just so I don't have to, like, go back in and, like, slow everything down trying to retranslate it, But anyway, I think I changed this, like, very smallly from last time, so that's why it looks a little bit different. And now I just kind of gotta, like, refine things and make every art. We'll see if they look a little better. If I can do that. Figured that out. But yeah. That should be what the magnum, whatever negative we're trying to do, ultimately would be to just make everything look nicer. That's what I want. So at the end of this, we should have a pretty nice looking base, and then we can then add like all the extra things. I don't know why all these are weird. That's why. So I was playing with Toon Boom earlier today, so I feel pretty confident in be able to use these tools. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I'm sure live TV is tricky. You don't know what's gonna happen. So okay, I'm gonna take these. Can I select them? There we go. Let's see. A lot of things been going on. Let's see. Trying to make this a little bit more straight up without it looking too weird. So that'll look good. Other things that we could do to this as well would be the obvious, like add more mouths, add more stuff to it. Like I can add an extra ear. Now I got this one pretty closer to what I'm looking for. Let's see. I can just look at my reference. Why don't I just do that? Let's like, okay. Let's see. Okay. I mean, this is how I sort of just work, where I kind of just muddle with things and then see that didn't work and then try again. Let's see. And I'm getting so bored these days. Don't know what to do. Let's see. Some of the eyes will, I changed them a little bit to change the proportions of it, so like the eyes are weird right now with the line weight, so I'll have to redraw those. Also wanted to add a, let's see, another peg in here. Added that one just for placeholder, but yeah, I need to change this into master peg. Okay. So what this will do is that I can put, instead of having the pegs from the head go directly to an eye and then be able to move the eye independently like that, I like to add another peg so then I don't have to like, so when you're animating it's like, well, you want to move like both eyes usually at the same time. So I want to move with both of these eyes at the same time, but it changes into this, you can see if you're not colorblind, I guess, but that the one on the left is colored yellow and the one on the right is like blue purple. So if I select them, it's actually selecting the, what's it got? It's got the peg here that's highlighted over here, but then it's also selecting the blue ones. If I move the blue ones, it's actually changing the art around instead of the peg translator. If you don't know, it's okay, but it's just like, it's, I want to select just this one and then move this one. So obviously I could move these over and closer or whatever and just kind of go every time like, oh, I want to move the eye. Let me just select both of these and go whoa, whoa, because that's what I want. So instead I'm going to add another peg that then handles transformations of both of these and then put the master back in there. And there we go. So now I have this master eye, so I can just move this around. And no matter what, if I click on this and then B, then I select both of them. So that was a handy little trick that I figured out, but I'm sure other people know about that, but it's just like it's easier to now move one eye if I want to, but then if I want to do both, one more B, and there we go. So, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Hello. I thought you had a Sonic or a Sanic profile pic for a second. Commenter. Let's see. Clap horse. Thank you. Okay. So the question was, last time was how do I get these different panels? Or how did I have, I think the question was like, why do you have like 3 different windows? And I was like, well, I have 3 different monitors, so I thought that was the question. But it's actually, why do you have 3 different windows here? So I can sort of explain that. It has, I don't know if you can add like another window and then see if I can move that. I could probably like move this out into a box, and then it's just like playing with the workspace editor. So I can probably drag this, and now it's a box. I clicked on the name of it. if I highlight it in different positions, then it can like snap two different parts. So if I wanted another one, I can add that there. And then now I got like 3 of them, or 4 boxes that does that. So hopefully that answers your question. Person, I forgot your name was, I don't think you're in chat right now, but if you watch this, then there you go. Thinking of you. Then now I have another box that I can play around with. I want to put that back in there, and boop. So now, yeah, I have 3. I don't know, I find it, you just gotta like find like one type of like workspace you like, and then just kind of stick with it. Boop. That's how you rotate it around. Woo woo. Yeah. So once you find like a good like place that you like, or like figure out what you need the most. Like if I'm a cutout animator and puppet builder, this setup works the best for me. Is that I can hide this down. Is that I can have more stuff down here. This is the fun boring bit, but it's setting up the workspaces sometimes makes it easier or harder. So otherwise you have to go, well, where's the master controller? And it's like, whoop, it's right. I don't have it actually on here. But where's the node view? Whoop, it's already here. I need the tools and drawing substitutions in the node view. So it looks very scattered and just like everything's around here everywhere, but usually this is what I look at. Might change later on, but obviously it's still work in progress. But yeah, just make this easier to animate that. Okay. Someone else pointed out as well that it probably have an ear behind it, because obviously when they have no hair, they have another ear that you can see. So let me look at my other reference and see. Okay, good. Looking at Pony Life rarity picture and seeing that she has a small ear behind the other one in 3/4 view, which is this one. So, okay. Hello. Alright, two-tailed and my cartoons is alright. Here's always glitching out. Okay. So what I need is a new layer, I think, and then we'll call this you're far good. Find it. Undo that. Okay. So it's just easier to just, if I need to just do node view as well, it's just like just put everything in node view. Okay. So I need to add a second ear. So the ear was, let's see. Put the ear down here, actually. That's interesting. Oh, because it goes below. Yeah, because the eyes, which all this is, everything here is the eye, all the way to here. This is an eye. So the first top ear is actually down here. So let me move this over. Move everything over. I can do it in one chunks maybe. This is why I group things so you can kind of play around with that a little easier. Okay. Selecting them really small is hard. Okay. So I need to add another peg, and then put it into the composite there. And if you follow the track, it's like, oh, here's the puppet master, and then it goes into the head, and that'll connect to the ear, which then will connect into this head comp, which goes into the pony comp, which goes into the composite, into the display. So all that says is now that I have another layer, that means I can draw the ear in. So yeah, let's see. How many background ponies showing up? Somewhat. I've caught up to whatever we're at. Like, I don't know how you count the numbers with the episodes anyway. Where there's several episodes out now. I wouldn't call them exactly background ponies, but there definitely are extra ponies. I don't think they're like specifically like from what, you know, the concept of the original ones being like incidental horses. They're not the Lyras or bonbons that we're used to. They're more different. They're just different colors. So I don't think they like reference anything particular. Definitely not referencing any pop culture or anything either. So they just got their own color schemes and everything. So they're not exactly background ponies. What we think of as. To answer that question, but yeah, there definitely are background ponies, but they're not the ones we're used to. It's not like their background, it's not like they're designated like to be like, oh look, it's Lyra. It's like, here's incidental new horse, rather than it being anyone in particular. Like, they're not Gen 4 characters, I can say that. They're new characters. I don't know what all these extra lines are. But yeah, as it goes, as it goes on, the show goes on, it definitely gets more calmer. The first episode, which I kind of started to show you, was that it kind of went like at a zip, super fast, already like Sonic speed. You know, every second is being used, kind of a feel. But as it goes, it kind of gets a little bit slower. It's still like really like jokes are like every 2 seconds, or something happens and it's a funny face every frame. But it's definitely getting like the first episode of like every half frame was a funny face, but now it's like it's every so often, I guess. But it's comparatively, instead of like every like frame being like whoa, now it's like whoop whoop whoop, like 10 frames, if that makes sense. So I would still recommend it. It's still, you know, obviously not for everyone, but I'm having fun with it. I mean, I wouldn't be making this, you know, I'm trying to make this look as best as I can if I didn't like it. So, you know. Well, let's see. Have you guys watched any of it? Have you watched, you know, the ones that are available? Of any of the Pony Life episodes? Mm-hmm. Even vacation episode. Okay, that answers that question. Of that. I'm gonna make the... Does that work? If, yeah, it should be on the color liner. I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter, because I made them a little too... too large here. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. It's not as bad as expected, but it's not a cup of tea. I understand, yeah. It won't be for everyone, obviously. It's not... Yeah. It's not as bad as you expect. It's still, like, different in very large regards. But it's still not, you know, what exactly we're always looking for. It's kind of like... I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I haven't really watched Teen Titans, the Go, to really know much about that. That there was that weird controversy. It's definitely because it's like, what I've heard is that it was, that Teen Titans ended with a cliffhanger after like 4 seasons, but then Teen Titans Go kind of didn't respect that chronology, or that ending. Whatever it was. So now it's like, now we got this other completely different type of show that, yeah, just is completely meta and doesn't take any of itself and at all seriously. That's what I understand. Exactly. Hello, unknown. Let's see. Exactly. It's constantly making fun of the fans original. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's the worst. Because it can't just be like, oh, well, we're new, you know, hip millennial cartoon. Now it's like, well, because you like that other show, it's like, how could you know? It's like, it's not as fun and random as us, you know, as Teen Titans Go is so random. Now it's like, how could you? Okay. Let's see. So I'm making this leg here match up a little better. See if I can touch it. There you go. Okay. That should do for now. I could probably make this a little bit lower. All these extra dots. I didn't notice I had all these extra lines. Always work really clean. If you can, just work as clean as possible. Especially with art, you just don't want those extra lines to like make extra things going on. Okay. So got all that. Probably want to work on the eyes. Definitely need to add the sparkles in the eye. So let's see. How we doing? My neck's actually a little weird. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's the pony life art style. That's what I'm going for, at least. So probably gonna have to make these eyes pop out more. Let's see, the easiest way. Probably make like a stamp of a circle? I don't know. So it's basically just a bunch of sprinkles on top of the eye. They're a little bit different colors. I don't think I chose a good reference for any of these that have it. It's the closest, but it doesn't have the most visible. Trying to think if they're all the same color or is there like a gradient to them. I don't know, because they only go down to like halfway. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see. Okay, so I need to figure this out. But how you doing? Superhero girls. I'm not really a superhero kind of fan. I know my dad likes superhero movies more than me. Like he would watch like this. He likes Marvel a lot more than DC. I think as a kid he like bought a bunch of like Spider-Man comics or started collecting them. So I was like in that house, sort of like, well, okay. And he like had it in a garage or like lost a whole box of them. So my dad lost a whole bunch of Spider-Man comics as a kid. So, let's see, that was non-linear. I'm still in like the rush of like I had to get this done mode, but I'm with you guys, so I guess I can, let me just take like one break and then I'll try to go a little bit slower. So, breathe. Okay, how we doing? So, I need to add some sprinkles on top. So I need to probably like, I don't know if a stamp would work. There we go. Oh look, got a Toon Boom character. Nice. Does that make like one thing? I don't know how this works, so probably the easiest way to just do it the way that I'm thinking. Might actually work better, of just adding like a whole bunch of small circles and just arrange them in a way. Might take a while rather than whatever. Because those are really small. There has to be like over 100 of them. Well, that's just like a texture. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get a ellipse. Let's see. And I can fill it. Let's add a new color. So this will be eye sprinkle. And then it could be the same kind of color. Eye drop. Same kind of color as this, but like a little bit lighter. And then color this in, and then kind of arrange it in a way. So kind of like that. Let's kind of see it like that. Here you go. So I can kind of see what the proportions of it are as I go. A little bit circle. I mean, I think they're circles. I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, the resolution of most of the videos are pretty small, so it's hard to know. I'm putting that on new layer, so it's able to not be too destructive with the other one, with the under layer. But I'd probably just take these, make these a little bit smaller, maybe. And then we'll just have to copy and paste this over and over. But thankfully, if I make these, you know, enough of these, then I don't have to worry about doing it again, because I can just do this for one of them, and then that'll be it. This will be doubling up. So, okay. Let me just get all of these now. And I can just individually place these, I guess. Bop. 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 And another way would probably just like to mask it, but then it would like be cut off at the edge, and it's like that probably looks really gross. So instead, We have to grab these really small circles and then just kind of place them around. Like so. Probably do some rhyme to any of this, but I don't know. Control is the duplicate button instead of Alt, so it still works just as good as flashes. Duplicate button doesn't always work, so that's really annoying when you like want to make it. Want to add like some duplicates, but then it's like doesn't really work. Or you click the button and then like the original disappears because then you just all you're doing is just moving it. So, and with this I'm just moving the pivot point instead. And that's annoying just as much. There's like enough of these, and I could probably just grab all these, and that's what happened. Control. There we go. I can flip them. Kind of arrange them in a way that makes sense, hopefully. Oh yeah, I forgot I have trypophobia. So that's fun. Okay. I'll just have to go with this. And just kind of fill it in a bit more. Okay. Yeah, this isn't taking too long, but we'll see how this goes. Because once I get this pattern, then I can just probably use it on the other one and just like flip it, and then it should be enough of a difference, hopefully, that you won't really notice it being flipped, I guess. If I do it that way. Yeah, that's what happens at it. Not duplicating that. Yeah, let's see. While we're doing this, how we doing? Trypophobia. It's the fear of small dots. I don't know. I think it's T-R-Y phobia. So it's like, try harder. Why you smaller dots? So, something unsettling about it. It gets me. It's like, ugh. It's like a microscopic scale of something that has a bunch of like little holes. I think holes is more what it is, but it's like also like small dots is also not my forte. Okay. Gonna do okay. We're blah. Okay. It's just a mental thing. It's not gonna eat me. It's just a little freaky. Cause now I'm thinking of the other examples of trypophobia, and it's just like it's gross. Of just like all these very gross images. I probably won't wanna display to you either. That it's yeah. Don't look it up. It's gross. Yeah, it's like when a microscopic scale you see something like made out of pores. Yeah. Duplicate. That gets a little queasy for me. It's like that's gross. Let's see. It goes. It's hard to see. Probably around there. Probably around here would be enough. Because once it gets like too far, then it like becomes invisible. So let's see. Like I can't really see what I'm doing either. Let's just make it gross color for now, just so I can see it. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not. I know some people, you know, I think like even Markiplier, he talks about it. And it's like, that's why I kind of like I should learn about it. Honestly, it's like, oh yeah, that is creepy. And then I looked it up and said like, yep, that's not for me. I don't like that. And it's such a weird thing too. It's like small dots. You know, it's like as an artist, it's like this is gonna pop up a lot. You know, and it's kind of designed, but it's like yeah, it's not cool. Thankfully, my style is minimalistic with my normal chibi stuff, so it's kind of like high density of stuff usually doesn't, you know, come up too much. So, or if something would be the high poly or high density of anything. I would probably like try to avoid it, just my own sanity. So let's see. Oh yeah, everyone has a phobia. It's like when someone's vegan, it's like you always know what someone's phobia is. Unless if you know for someone too long, you'll know what they're afraid of. That should do. Just get rid of those, and then let's move those down a little bit. Let's add one more, just for fun. Just make it a little bit weirder. There you go. Okay. Let's set it back to that original color we had. That's around here. Actually, that looks pretty good. Because it's supposed to be sparkly, but like enough that you can sort of see it. That kind of works. Yeah. It's weird. Maybe we can add a blur onto it? I don't know, you could do it. Yeah, we could totally do it. I was like, oh, that shouldn't, you know, we can't really do that. Come on, I wanted to add a blur to one particular layer. Ugh. But here we go. So, okay. Wanted to do that. Let's add another. Let's separate the overlay art. Put it to there. Oops. Put it into there as well. Oh, that's weird. What happened? Let me go back. So it's all good. And then I want an overlay layer. And then I want to put it into right next to there. That's not getting the mask. Oh, because it's not being affected by the mask. What if it goes into the mask as well? Nope. Maybe I need another mask. Just to do that. Oh, that's dumb. So what if... Or what if this goes into there? No, just this way to overlay. What if I also have a art that goes into there as well as to there? No, because we can't put two things in the same thing. Well, what if I make it a composite that then goes into each of these, take that out, and then it goes into there? That does not work. Why? Because the overlay has to be on top. So why is it not getting cut then? Oh, because I'm putting it also in the composite. There we go. And then let's put the overlay. Let's swap these two. It's like making like a Mario Maker. To just like, well, you know, we got to make these contraptions of like, well, what if the DWOP did this? Okay. And then I want a blur. Is that? I don't even know how this works. Ooh, Gaussian. Thank you. Yep. Does that work? Maybe. And then go to here. Hey, there we go. So now it's just barely blurred. Directional blurriness. If I put this up to like 10, yeah, that changes it. Good. 0.5 or something. 0.2. 0.3. Because in the show, it's like it's not visible as 0.5 should work. Precision, medium 16. I don't know. There you go. That's how it works. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. We like to make the sprinkles slightly darker. Not that dark. There you go. Okay. Could also put a gradient on it, but I don't know if you can do a gradient through multiple shapes. So we'll leave it at that. I could probably just get rid of this lower layer because that's weird. A little bit too low. Okay. I think that works. Okay. So, now that we got that, that's one eye. Now, see, it only works with the little blue flower at the bottom here, is when it actually shows. Also, the neck thing also shows up with this darker thing, because it also has a weird composite thing as well. So, makes it faster to animate and move things around in OpenGL. But if you want to have it look good, you can render it out quickly with that. So, that's why we do that. So now, guess what we gotta do now is essentially just take this layer, and now we got all these fun dots. Okay. And pop them in. Okay. Right to there, and then flip it. Rotate it a little bit to make sure it fits the aesthetic we got here. Wants to be on the edge. That's it. Okay. Good. I'll go with that. And then we got to do the same thing, so let me just collapse all that. And then let me do it over here. The fun part is now doing the nodes. So okay. So I separated it into the color. Oh, what was it? No, I wanted the overlay layer, and then we wanted the line art here. Oh, that's weird. Don't select anything. Line art. There we go. So we get rid of that. So it shouldn't exist. But then we add a second composite to combine the two, like that. Where we have that and that. It's another messed in there that go into the cutter. But then we want the overlay to also have this blurred Gaussian that we can copy and paste it, put it into the overlay, and then we render it. Now it's slightly more blurry. Yeah, in Flash, that would have taken like half as long, maybe even more. But is this better? I don't know. You know, it's like the amount of complexity. It's just like it just allows you to make more on the surface level. Like instead of adding like symbols like in Flash, I'm more of a Flash user for context. So in Flash, I usually just make a symbol and then I don't know what I need to do. Well, I guess I can, yeah. If I have like, if I had to do this eyeball trick with the, with Flash, I would probably, I don't know. Honestly, I might have just made the entire layer itself. Like everything here, like the blue part as well as the dots be one symbol and then say blur it. Because honestly, the detail in the rest of the eye can be blurred even more without really affecting anything. So that's what this sort of node concept kind of helps, I guess, with a little bit more, is that now you can have exact precision control to say, like, I would like specific things to have specific functions, you know, and then also combine them into one thing and then have even more craziness with that. So, how we doing? Because I know I've mostly been talking, so let's see how you guys are doing. Let's see, chat broke. I wouldn't know. This is all complex, and obviously before like April I had no idea what any of this was, but I've just been trying to figure it out and learn it, so it's been, yeah. Oh, I hate that. I looked at it again and it's like it's gross. Okay, maybe I can make it a little bit darker so I don't see it as much. Let's make the sprinkles a little bit better. There we go. Not much does it say. Yeah, you can ask questions though of like, why is this, and I can try and explain some of it. But yeah, it's still like, exactly, that is just like, it's all foreign. It doesn't really make sense. You know, it's not even like important in the long run either. For you guys to understand that it's not quite most interesting thing in the world, or approachable, you know, to understand. Let's see. There we go. It's all wobbly though. It's because this has to be like straight out, maybe. There you go. Okay, so that's good. We got some time. We could add the. Wanted to fix the eye lid, but I think I probably want to just make the wings and horn. So I'm gonna make it into an alicorn, and then we'll see from there where we'll go. So I'll probably take up the rest of the time, so let's do that. And because it's a base, it's okay to have an alicorn, because then when I can take this entire base that I have, if it has everything in it, put it into a new file or whatever, and then take things out, rather than every time that if I had just this, and if I wanted the Pegasus, I would have to make a new file, whatever, and then add it in, and then create a wing thing, and then add wing files or whatever animation I would need. And then it's like, well, now I need a second Pegasus. You know, it's like, oh, I made Rainbow Dash, now I need Fluttershy. What do? I have to use this base again, because otherwise I have to undo everything that I did for Rainbow Dash, like deleting who knows how many hairs and stuff and colors and everything, rather than I could just use this. Which means that I would have to either have to, in a, you know, not good way, best practice, would have to create a new wing and then have to redraw and then make a new wing cycle and animation. So just to explain that, I want to add everything onto this as possible, and then once I make new characters, then I can remove parts that aren't needed. So it's like being catch-all. I want to get as big of a net as possible of character creation, and then if I need to, you know, remove parts of it, then that's okay. But if I didn't have it, then it would be more annoying. So let's see. So let's go back here, and then we can add, figure out where we want to put the wing, because wing would probably be obviously on top. So we'll do that. Okay. So wing. Let's do wing close. Okay. Now where did it go? It's always in a weird place. Okay, take that out. I want to move them. Oh, I got the box. I can just drag that. Okay. So now let's see. If you want something to talk about, I can help you with that. YouTube gave me a email saying that they're rolling out a new feature, or at least updating the feature, that the mid-roll ads for channels that are monetized and everything, that they will change the time it would take to run a mid-roll ad on videos from 10 minutes to 8 minutes. So that means that your video, in the past, if it was 10 minutes, you would get a mid-roll ad, and that'd be the minimum amount. So if you had 9:59 as a video, you wouldn't get a mid-roll ad. And a mid-roll ad means that at the middle of your video, it would play an ad. So that means like every 10-minute video would get double or something, some mathematical of more ads than usual. Of, you know, rather than just having a pre-roll ad, which I usually do, because my videos are 1 to 2 minutes, means that I don't have to, means that I don't get it, basically. So so it doesn't exactly affect me too much, but I'm sure that this is already creating a, you know, already a storm that's like, well, that for all those, you know, people who already try to exploit it with the meta of YouTube are now having it be easier, you know, that instead of all those people who work, you know, at the minimal level, I guess, to then get minimal level of trying to get ads, you know, just for only really for money's sake, like those people, that they would find it easier now to at least somewhat, you know, to get the mid-roll ads, which would essentially make more money for them. So I don't know what you guys think about that. It's interesting, and just because it's like, it's so meta, you know, it's such a meta thing that only like certain people would even really matter. That like it's already sort of esoteric to most people. Like I'm sure, you know, statistically, because it's getting harder for people to get monetized in the first place, that most of you guys wouldn't have content and would want to be able to get through the entire 1, 2, 3 step process of going through AdSense and being a YouTube person or partner. That's a lot of work. It took me like 3 months to like really get into the program and like be able to then get money out of it. Which again, at the time, it was like, I'm just petty change of it. So it's not quite for you guys. It's hard to say like whether it really matters, but it's like for the general people, it's definitely something to think about. Just because it's like it's pretty substantial. Like that means like 120 seconds you can knock off your video and still get your mid-roll ads. So it's quite substantial. So let's get a start on YouTube. Okay, that's a different question from being a YouTube partner these days, which means a couple years ago or last year they changed most of their YouTube partner requirements. So back when I first started my channel, like in 2013, it was just for fun. Obviously, it was just like there's no like stakes or pressure or anything, or definitely not nowadays when it's like, oh, are you making something, you know, at least regularly, you know, or else. So it's definitely a little bit looser back then. Getting this start is different than being a YouTube partner. Obviously, because obviously you guys are able to get channels and everything. It becomes that's easier to get a channel, I would say, relatively. But whether or not it's easier to become a partner, because the rules have changed, that those are so much more substantial now of changes than back then. That I don't know what the exact stats of it are, but it's like, oh, instead of like literally just emailing them and wanting to become a partner and saying like, hello, yes, I'm willing to wait, you know, several months to be able to become a partner or whatever. A partner just means that then you can get revenue from videos. But of course, if your video has legal complications, then you won't get the compensation. So so for those people who would more rely on certain content, it would definitely be harder. But if you make like original content in a sense that you're not using other people's content, even like for a reaction channel, like we talked about that, where reaction channels are this like gray area where it's fair use, it's being commentary, it's being reporting on it, but it's also not using enough of a transformative, I would feel, to make it that one more step to make it 100% fair use and everything. And I would think it is in some sense too. That you are like making it your own. Obviously, you're reacting to it with your own personality and whatever. But at the end of the day, you're still using someone else's content to make yourself, you know, whatever your end goal is of being popular or whatever. So it's weird. I usually don't really I don't know if I want to condone it, because usually like what I usually would look for in a reaction video is, again, like what creative criticisms I can take out of it and say like, oh yes, thank you for showing that didn't work, so actually next time I can fix it. You know, like if, oh, the pacing was too slow here, so next time let's have things maybe go quicker, you know? It's simple stuff like that. So it does take, I mean, every video always takes like a lot of time and effort to make, but it is definitely on the spectrum. It is lower in terms of exactly skill and exactly, you know. It's hard to not bash them, but it's like it's still like, yeah, you're not really. I mean, what I'm doing is like this is multi-days and trying to figure this out, and like if I want to make like one video, it's like takes a lot of time to like figure this out. So but yeah, to have someone just like set up a camera and then kind of just look at nothing really and then go haha and not really say anything, and then after sign off is thanks for watching, it's like what was the point, you know? Rather than them being somewhat of a celebrity in their own right, it's like it just seems weird to have that as content. I never really understood it. That it's like it's even weird in like the Let's Plays and stuff. It's like you're just watching someone do something, but it's like just feels like it's not exactly the entertainment that I, you know, don't expect it to be entertaining. I mean, if their reactions are interesting, then great. But the ones I've kind of been seeing, at least the ones that when the MLP ones, that one guy, who got like a little bit of his own controversy, that it's like, yeah, it wasn't that interesting. So it kind of turned me off from reaction channels, just because it was like, if that's what it's like, you know, that's kind of content it is. It's like, oh, that's kind of, it's not as interesting to me, and at least if you like them, perfectly fine. But to me personally, it's like it's not. I would never like search for reaction channel, whatever it is. I don't know how you call it. So let's see. Let's take these. Oop. Let's take these bits and kind of move them down a little bit. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Oh, sprinkles. I finished these sprinkles in the eye. There you go. So now there's small little dots in her eyes. So let's see. Now I'm working on a wing. This is fun, man. You can. That's what I like. Is that I can focus on one thing and like draw it perfectly while I can look at the entire rest of the scene. I like that. With Flash, you can't really have this multi-view sort of thing. So this kind of works out well. So if you get bored, I'll just kind of look over there. Let's see. So let's talk about that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like YouTube's decision to change the mid-roll ads to be for shorter videos is kind of came out of the blue. It definitely was a weird shock to me. But then like my second thought was like, wait, this doesn't actually apply to me at all. Only when I release my movie as a complete video, that'll definitely be over 10 minutes. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, my video was never intended to be 8 minutes long, so it's like it was always planned to be over 10 minutes. So it's like, cool. Alright. So regardless of whatever happens, it's like it didn't really change anything. Okay. Wing, good, done, move on. Okay. How we doing? Hi, Brown Jack. How you guys doing? Okay. Send the wing. I could add another one. Just for the back of it. Which looks like it's about the same color. That's okay. Let's do this real quickly. I don't know why. Flash is better how the rotation bits work. Is that it's just like it looks at the symbol shape itself and then figures out the pivot point in the middle. But with this, it's like anywhere on a stage. So let's see. Draw feels weird. Okay. So I would like to find the wing, and I would like to clone the drawings, and then now I have a new one. Do I? There you are. So this is C1. Or how's that work? What's going on? Oh, they're both going to the thing. There we go. Let's see. I got this. I can put it at the bottom. Add another peg. And then kind of just shimmy this over here. And then whoop, 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 put it over there. And so now, there it is. Take this. Take this. Oh yeah. Peg is not connected. Bop. Now we can. Right? Please. Yay. There you go. Kind of matching up with what I see. Right about there. Okay. So now she got two wing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And don't forget that the VODs are here forever. Or until, like, you know, delete them or whatever. There you go. Not enough time to make the horn, but maybe we can do that next time. Or I could do that now during toaster time. And that should be easy. That'll only be one symbol too, so that should be pretty quick as well. So, okay. Let's crack on with this. Let's see, so I need another thingy. And this will be horn. Pop. There you go. And again, I have to deal with this. So the horn's tricky. Because it's like it could be above the eye. But it should probably be below the eye. But it's usually... Might be easier to put it under the eye. So... Separate these a bit. And then... Let's kind of take everything here. And just kind of shimmy. Over there. Okay. So I'm going to put the horn between these. So, pop. Let's get everything here. It's gonna over there. Just have enough room to go boop. Okay. So now, have a peg, and then connect the peg to the big peg. Pop. And then have the horn go there. It's now they're not messed up. They're all in line. Good. Okay. So now, here's the horn. There it goes there. Can I just move it to where I want it? Is that better? Is that what it wants to do? I don't know. And then, can I draw? Boop. Where is it? Let's see. Where's my red line? That was really cool. Red. So where is it? Oh, now it's over there. Okay. Put it over there. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'll just go to toast time now and then draw the rest of it on there. So, thank you guys for watching. I know this is pretty weird. It's still a lot to do. I mean, each of these on its own takes a while. And then just kind of moving things around and then kind of getting things... We're getting closer and closer to what we want. Or at least what I want. So... I think some of the proportions still need a little bit more. I can do with the boop. Now you got a little red line, that'll be a horn. But it's still like, it's still getting there. Because I think my initial sketch was just a little bit off, obviously with proportions and weird drawings here and there. So as I keep going and going through each part now, getting closer. But definitely the sparkles in the eye definitely make them more inviting to some people. I could probably play with it more and probably add more, like another layer or something, somehow with different, like a second color maybe. So it'd be like 2 colors or something. I wonder if there's a way to like add a seed onto it to make it like, say like, oh, I want these 2 colors, and then randomly sprinkle those around rather than going and individually doing it. Because now in Blender and 3D softwares, you can add seeds, which just makes like a random Minecraft world. When you start a new Minecraft world, it creates a seed of like creating the generation of the terrain, and then it's done. Like it simulates all the different parts and whatever it needs to do. So to do something like that with the sprinkle eyes would be nice. Otherwise, yeah, it'll just take a while to individually go in and say like, I want this one to be this color, and then that one this color, and see like there's a whole bunch of them. So anyway, it's time for toast time. So thank you. Whoop, there we are. Okay. Yeah, so streams at the bottom there. Tell you the stream times. Did I spell horn? Nope, horn's right. Okay. Oh yeah, you can still see me. Okay, so the horn doesn't look like a single line. So there we go. Let's see. Sometimes it's easier with the context when it's over here. So somewhere. Oop. Where am I? Red and pop. There you are. Let's make it a little bit thicker. Boop. There you go. Okay. So that guy's doing. I know that usually toast times when I pay attention to you a little bit more, but I just want to get this going. Let's see. And then it kind of like curves up a little bit. But this is fairly straight there. And then it almost touches the there's a little bit more over there. It almost touches the, if there was an eyeliner here. Like I'm looking at rarities right now. So almost touch it there. That should work pretty good. Okay. But yeah, actually pay attention to chat a little bit more, but I've noticed that the chat's a little bit quiet, so it's like, it's okay. Well, that's because I'm paying attention to what I'm doing, which should make sense, you know. If like a video game streamer, you know, for example, just did like a just chatting stream, but they had like a game going, you know, in the background, it's like, when you want to watch them play the game, I don't know. So, this is art streamer I draw. So I hope you don't mind that I'm also talking about what I'm doing, you know. Or I guess that could be the difference too, is that I could be chatting with you, but then also somehow talk about doing something else at the same time, which is a little bit harder. No, this is not good. I think the original initial line here isn't quite too good. It's probably this line right there. Let's see. How you guys doing? I was just wondering. Wondering if anything that I'm saying makes sense. Okay. Is that cute? I can't tell. Let me stress over all of this. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, also people like use it as like a podcast more so, where it's like kind of just listening like you. Okay. Which isn't bad, it's just like, well, now I'm lonely. Now it's like no one's, it seems like no one's listening. Or I'm just alone, which is true. Okay. Bop, bop. And close it. I could just stroke for the close, but it's like, yeah, it'll be fine. And probably also another thing I want to do is that I want to pretty much like redraw most of the assets, I guess you could say, of this. Where I like to change the art of this to be a little bit more accurate, at least with the line ending, the line caps. Because most of the lines here end with a nice bubble, or like a nice circle at the end. So I'm trying to be more accurate with it by, what I would like to do is that, this is why I can't do two things at once. It's like I have to talk about what I'm doing. Let's see. Otherwise, words fail me so good. Okay. Boy. This should be pretty good. Otherwise I'll just ramble and then I have no idea If anyone knows what I'm talking about. Bop, 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 bop. And then I can just cut it. Bop, bop. Okay. I got these lines. Look at those lines. Yeah, there you go. And then we can fill those lines. Whoa, whoa. Or not that line. And then get rid of this line. And that's a horn-ish shape, I guess. That's weird. I'll have to redraw that or something, or figure out the angles I want out of this. It just needs to be straighter. Change the angle of that. I get rid of that line. That might be messing it up a little bit. Probably needs to be shorter, maybe. Oh, that's doing it. Okay. And then it's like a little bit lower and then over there. It just feels weird. It's obviously with the other lines, it's hard to then make everything work. Let's see. It's super wonks. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll have to take a little bit more time on this to make sure. I've never drawn a horn like this, so this is really weird. It's closer. I think we're getting closer to it, but yeah, it's still slightly jank. Let's see. Let me just put it in the line, alright. And then we just kind of zoom out and go. It doesn't make sense because there's no hair, really. But I know what you mean. It probably should just be shorter. Somehow. Also, you probably wouldn't see the other ear too much. Let's see. Yeah, it just feels wrong in some way. Let's see. I'm using the arrow keys and they're very loud on my keyboard. Huh. I'll have to redo it sometime. But that should be good for now. Just so I can get rid of it. Get going with this. So how are we doing? Anything that I missed in chat, do you think? How are we doing? This is so weird. Yeah, it just feels like if she had hair, then it could like fit in between maybe. Because Rarity you can see like her whole hair horn. But with Twilight you only see like half of it. Like the hair would be somehow over it. Let's see. Like Twilight's hair would go like whoop whoop and then over. So if you fill that in with a different color, and then somehow in the middle you would have like extra lines like this that would kind of like hide her horn a little bit, and then you only like get to see like this much or something. And then like a horn would like stick out of like really like here. So I was like, I think that could work. It'll work for something like that. But on the whole, yeah, it's still a little jank. So that's why we probably need a little bit more time. So probably on next time we'll have to fix the horn. I'll leave that here for now, and then next time we can, yeah. Look at this whole thing. I'm talking about this horn. I just looked at the note on the right. So next time we'll have to do the horn a little bit better. And then do the eyes a little better too. Oh, you can see like the horn is also below the eyes. Whoop. Isn't that fun? So it fits in between. So there you go. Yeah. If we have something like this, it should work fairly well. You can only see like the horn for a little bit. but not the entire thing. If I cut it and then put it on top and then put this kind of a shape there. I don't know what's going on here, but you get the point. And now it's like being hidden underneath. That it's like this. Only like see like half of the line instead of being like the entire thing. So definitely have to mess with it more. Yeah. So yeah, what I've been saying. Okay. Anything else I missed in chat? Because I think that's about it for that. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna do it. So yeah, we'll have to come back to this. Good. Brushing your teeth. Good. That's probably the shortest chat we've had in a long time. Oh boy. Which is totally okay. It's just harder for me to make any kind of conversation out of it, you know? So it's totally okay. It's just hard for me to think of anything interesting to say, which then my default would be random things and then also very, very weird and technical things as well. So that's sort of what happened. Which then becomes a loop of, wow, you're talking about something really esoteric and weird, and then there's nothing that as the commenter you would feel like, I don't know how to react to this because it's so in the fifth dimension that I can't understand it to begin with, that then you can't ask any questions, which you should have a lot of questions. So yeah, next live stream we'll have to clean this up a little bit more. I know there's definitely the horn. We'll have to be redrawn or figured it out. A little bit more smoothly would be nice. And then probably just more general proportions would be nice. I think the back leg is still too big. I think it could be shortened or smaller or something. It needs to be smaller a little bit more. As well as other small things here and there. So, yeah. I coming into this, I was like, oh, we'll just have to do like a couple things and then we'll be done. So, then we'll be done with the base enough stuff of it that then next time we can get more dirty with it of like we need to add extra frames to different things rather than, you know, where we are now. It's like, well, we still have to like actually design a couple things more. Especially the eyelids or eyeballs. We did the iris, but we didn't do the like where the sclera is, like with this part. Oh, we can't really see with the lower. So I have to redraw this to make this a little bit better. We need better cheeks. We need eyebrows. We need to figure out whether the mouth is maxed out, which we could do probably just right now. Should be simple to do. With the mouth, we put it with, how do we do this? Where I want the mouth to be cut by the skull, but unfortunately the skull is way over here. So, let's see. Obviously it doesn't need it, but like some of the mouths, it looks better. So, let's see. We're just gonna do it. Cut here. So this means that I would like that to go into there. And then, just for now, let's bring it next to his skull so I'm not to keep dragging them. Whoop. 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 Uh-oh. Yeah, let's bring the last thing. If I can do this. There we go. Okay. So now, I'm over here. Let's add the skull as a cutter there. And then, this cutter output goes into there. That should work. Unless I invert it. There you go. I don't know why the default usually that works is the inverse, but here we are. Oh yeah, that's that extra line. And then, now we're here. And then it's gonna arrange this like that. Okay. Which just means that now we should be... I There we go. We should be able to have it disappear. Yay! Okay. So now the mouth will only show where the skull is. So it's gone. Boop, boop. Yay. And for some big mouths, like the one in the thumbnail, it might look better if it doesn't exist. Which we could cut it off from the... Yeah, we'll have to do that later. Just making the cutter only work between the... Separate it between the line art, maybe? And then have the color line not be that. Or I want it to be the... No, the skull. Skull line art. Separate the skull into here. And then separate it into... Well, I just want it to be the color line. Color line art. There you go. And then the mask should be this. Bop. And so now it's being the skull color line. So let's see how that works. So I selected line there. So you can sort of see it. Then now it's being cut by that instead. So it's very subtle, but yeah. It's being cut somewhere in the middle of this line. So that's cool. So what I could do is probably just play with this now and just kind of make it smaller, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to play with it a little bit more. But yeah, that should be the idea of it. That now it can... That the mouth can now only exist inside of... Somewhat inside of here. That's pretty cool. Okay. I saw a question. Let's see. Bwop. Bwop. Ugh. Did it make the picture on the thumbnail yourself? Yes. It's actually the what this was without the extra things that we did today. So it's basically what a snapshot of the horse looked like before I worked on it today. Because obviously I can't do what the thumbnail looks like. I can't make the thumbnail look what I made today afterward. So it's like a snapshot before. But yes. Actually what I did was that because my thumbnails are made in Flash, I had to export this as a SWF here, which is the format that Flash uses. So I was able to export it as an SWF, which made all of these as different layers and was able to actually edit it. Bring it into Flash and then edit it a little bit because some of the masks didn't work and some parts didn't work. Like how the masks here didn't work, and as well as this color override thing didn't work. So they take a little bit more doing. But yes, I don't know. Did it look different enough that it didn't seem like the same horse here? Because that's an interesting thing too. That if that's enough of a quandary, you know, that you have to ask it. I'm wondering, not because, you know, if you're smart, but I'm trying to figure out, like, if somehow that's... Why would that become a question? It's more of a question, you know? Because this has been the project that we've been working on for a couple weeks. So if you've been following along, which maybe some people haven't, I'm just trying to figure out, unless you're also talking about the one with the Derpy one where she's like standing up and then she kind of waves in different pictures. I also made that one. But the one with this blue horse, which has been only going for a week, that I don't know if that's... It was obvious enough, you know. Now I'm sucking my guessing myself. But it's like I'm literally using the same little asset and then putting that on the thumbnail. So just wondering how that became a question is now. Second guess myself of... I don't know how to do that better, you know? It's like, to make that not become a question of, did I make this? And it's like, wait a minute, you're seeing this right now that I'm creating it. So it's like, how does, what? You know? It's like, the whole project has been making this horse with this one. So if the thumbnails you see a similar horse. I'm just wondering. It's just like, it's so weird, you know, to be asked that. It's like, it's like if I put a picture of myself, you know, in the photo, if like a live action picture of me doing a pose or whatever, and then you ask, hey, is that you in the thumbnail? It's like, ooh, yeah, you know, it's like, it's just weird. It's like uncanny to like get that as a question. I'm just thinking about it. It's just like, it's weird. But yeah, no offense. It's just like, just actually like deep down and like trying to think about it. It's just like, huh. It's like, should I? The only, you know, there's no more accurate way to depict it, you know, of making this than what it is, and I've used the same asset, so it's like, I don't know. That's enough of that, but it's just like, it threw me off with that. So thank you for the question, but it's just like, huh, okay. Let's see. Well, I mean, also in general, like, did I create the thumbnail, like the background and text and everything? Then yes, I also made that. I think one of you guys, even like Cookie or something, suggested to have thumbnails be a little bit more specific, so to what I'm doing. Because that's also another thing, like too, with, I think a couple months ago before I changed it, that usually the thumbnails were just like a derpy no matter what, and then like art or animation. Because usually they were like, my thinking was that I feel like for some of them, I feel like I had like 2 or so ideas, like even before I like, minutes before I like go on, it's like, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's like, I could do this or that, so it's like, trying to think of, and then make a thumbnail to represent something that I didn't know whether or not I would actually do. That became the problem, was that exactly, I didn't know, like, maybe a Bob Ross might not work this time, and then I had this big thumbnail of like Bob Ross, and it's like, wait a minute, but I'm not in the stream doing it, and obviously when I start the stream I can't really, you know, spend 10 minutes and like redo it. So that was my like my reason and alibi for that, I guess, that sometimes, like, I know there was one time when it's like, hey, should we do this? Or it's like, is this too weird or too dumb? Or, you know, I had to like read the audience and like figure out like, because at the one time, like even like a couple months ago or so, where it was like, hey, should we do this like, really chat oriented, like some kind of chat game, more so, where it was like, hey, give me different, like a Mad Lib kind of thing of like, oh, give me some nouns this time, or give me verbs this time, and then I would have to like draw it. But during the stream, I figured that there was only so many people, and then they would only get the rules and stuff like at the beginning. So it was like, it didn't have to like repeat it the entire time. So we had a vote, and then during that stream we said like, let's not do that, and then we did something else. So if I had like a big thumbnail of like, maybe I could have helped as well in design side of, well, that I could have had a big thumbnail of like, hey, we're gonna do a big chat thing or something. That might have made more sense, I guess, but yeah, I usually don't put too much thought into them now. Which now I see like, yes, that's half the reason or more why people click on videos, is that there's a big picture and it's like, oh, that's more interesting than reading the smaller text that might be more descriptive in some way. If I should put the big red arrows or the big circles and like point at a horse or something. If that'll make you more interested, I don't know. But for now, it's like, yeah, it's hard to, this whole like meta thing of everything, it's hard to exactly know. Cause I honestly, all this like weird stuff is pretty much being thrusted upon me, with this popularity. Cause obviously, like, there's, you know, in and out of like 5 people coming out of the stream. And I was like, wow, you know, that they're tuning into this. Because obviously you don't have to, especially after the end of this. So, let's see. Am I good at, let's see, Designing. I don't think that's the word. The closest word I think of is designing, so I'm gonna go with that. Am I good at designing things? Yes. Or at least enough that I can obviously make all this that you see before you. But sometimes when it doesn't quite work, it's like you try again. So I'm gonna try again with the horn next time, and then redraw it, and then see like where certain aspects are wonky, and then fix those. So none of this is complete. Everything here is pretty fluid, because I know most of the parts, like the especially the mouth, the nose, ear, horn, some of the legs, the parts that have open parts or open lines, I would like them to have a more tapered end, which means that instead of the round, I can point better, instead of the weird rounded points here, I could have it be more womped, oops, where it just kind of ends more at a point. That actually works. So obviously this is at the bottom where we have more so, and then I would like it to end more at this kind of a style. Obviously just stupid, but there you go. So I have to like do this more like pointed point at the end, which means I probably would have to redraw it or do the trouble of trying to make, you know, like an extra line to make it have that kind of point to it, but it's like, yeah, it may just be easier to redraw the entire line or something. But there you go. So obviously everything of those would have to be redrawn. So let's see. I'll show you how to spell and design if you would like to know how to do that. It's a weird word if you don't know English. There you go. So that's the word design if you like to use that word. It's free. It's on the house. There you go. Watch me turn. Yeah. They're pretty technical. I mean, all architecture and stuff like that. That's not electronical and less cartoony. I would say I'm not exactly good at that. Because I know, like, in weird anecdote of like high school and junior high, there was always, let me drink. There was weird art classes that in art projects and like classes that weren't art classes. Like we had to learn how to design or just draw from life like a shoe. And it was like, I don't know how to do this. So it was like, I wasn't a character, so I wasn't able to like figure out how to, you know, just draw like a straight like shoe out of perspective. And it's like, that's really, really hard. I would say like hands, because you draw more hands usually than feet or like shoes. More things that are just like still life is harder. I'm getting better backgrounds somewhat. Not that I said that it wasn't, but it's just like it's not very good either. But yeah. Okay then. Yeah, I think we could probably wrap this up. That yeah, the shoe thing was really weird because it's like out of nowhere it's like, oh, just draw, you know, this shoe in perspective for some kind of project. And it was like it wasn't even like it didn't feel like a, this is what hey class, we're doing a draw a shoe project. It was like, hey, let's draw shoes. Kind of weird thing. It just still got me because it's like, wow, this English teacher is like telling me, you know, how to draw shoes. And then we went outside and looked at perspective another day. Must have been like months later, but it was like, hey, let's look down the hallway and see like how there's 1 point perspective. So I was like, yeah, that was, yeah. Let's see. Okay, see you then. Yeah, wrap it up. There's still a lot more to do. I'm surprising myself that yeah, there's still more to do. I knew there was gonna be a lot more. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I'll just, you know, do a couple things like what I did today, and then I'll be done. But now it's like, wow, there's gonna be a lot more work. Or to look at the left, is just the one node segment there. Yeah, this is getting pretty weird. But now we got this. This is what I wanted really the most. Is that now I can click on this and then transform it, and then I can move it. Boop. There you go. So that makes me happy. So when animating, it's like it makes this 10 times easier. I think even Flash, you can't even really do this too well. You can't really put a node on. There's no nodes in Flash, so that kind of, you know, makes a completely different architecture. Anyway, okay. Yeah, next week we'll work on this more. Kind of told you what I'm just gonna do, so I think we're good. Oh yeah, I gotta add cutie marks as well. Guess I could do that now, or I could just, yeah, not actually add it, but just like add it as in. Let's see. One last thing. Red, and then cutie mark. That'll remind me. There you go. Okay. Now we're good. Okay. So now I know that's where it goes. Then it goes there. There you go. So we're getting there. But yeah, again, we'll need a lot more refinements to certain things. Like a lot of things have to be redrawn. It's the main thing, as well as just getting the proportions better would be nice. But yeah, I'll go call it there. Hope you guys had fun. I had fun. So thank you. And then yeah, see you next week. So see you then. Or no, it's actually Thursday. See you in 2 days. There you go. See you next stream. That's how it goes. Okay. Oof. Yeah, save that one. Goodbye. See you then.